Howdy, how you doing? My name's Cowboy Chris, and this is my story. It all started when I was about 5 years old. I lived on a ranch with my pa and my sister and my horse and dogs and ducks and chickens and pigs. But there was this one horse, her name was Old Paint. I loved that horse so much. Well, one day my pa came up to me, and I lived with my pa and my sister. He came up to me and he said, "Cowboy Chris," that's my name, you know. "Cowboy Chris, which one of these horses would you like to ride when you get a little older?" I said, "Well, Pa, I want to ride a horse now." He said, "No, Cowboy Chris, you're not old enough. When you get a little older, you can ride a horse and teach your tricks." All right. Well, I looked at the Palomino and I said, "Nope." I looked at the Shetland pony. Nope. Looked at the old gray mare. "The old gray mare, she ain't what she used to be." And I said, "No." And then I looked at Old Paint. I said, "Pa, that's the one I want, Old Paint." And he gave me a little wink. And he said, "That's what I thought." And then he turned to my sister, Cowgirl Clarissa. She was 5 years older than me. She was 10 years old. And sometimes she could be mean. And once she put a snake in my boots. And another time she put a porcupine in my hat. Took me a week to get those quills out of my hair. But she was pretty smart. And she could see like a deer in the daytime and like an owl at night. And she did take care of me after my mom died. Well, anyway, he said, "Cowgirl Clarissa, which one of these horses would you like to ride?" And she looked at the Palomino and said, "Nope." And she looked at the old gray mare. "The old gray mare, she ain't what she used to be." And she said, "No." And then she looked at Old Paint and she said, "Pa, that's the one I want, Old Paint." It made me mad, because Pa could give her Old Paint if he wanted to. Well, Pa, he just looked down at me and gave me a little wink. He said, "Now, Cowgirl Clarissa, you know that your brother wants Old Paint." She said, "Oh, Pa, I was just a kidding. I really want the Palomino." And from that day on, me and Old Paint were best friends. And when I got a little older, I started riding her and teaching her tricks. And I even wrote a song about her. It went something like this. "I got a horse that looks so pretty. Everybody here in the whole darn city is so jealous they're about to faint. My horse is a one-man steed. I'm a man with just one need. Ain't ashamed to say her name's Old Paint. Old Paint, Old Paint, I love you, Old Paint." I shouted for all the world to hear. "Old Paint, Old Paint, I love you, Old Paint." And I shouted her in her other ear. My horse and I, we ride along, we harmonize on a song, chat a while about a thing or two. And before the ride is through, I look into her eyes so blue, softly say those words, "I love you." "Old Paint, Old Paint, I love you, Old Paint." I shouted for all the world to hear. "Old Paint, Old Paint, I love you, Old Paint." And then I shouted in your other ear. Don't you get it in your head she would go with you instead. Promise me she always would be true. And though her hoof don't wear no ring, to her that don't mean a thing, 'cause my friend, we're stuck together like glue. "Old Paint, Old Paint, I love you, Old Paint." I shouted for all the world to hear. "Old Paint, Old Paint, I love you, Old Paint." And then I shouted in your other ear. Yee-hoo! Well, Old Paint and I were best of friends, and we went on many adventures over mountains and prairies and rivers and streams. I loved Old Paint so much, but I kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and before long, I was 10 years old, and Old Paint and I were best of friends. But something happened when I was 10, something that changed my life forever. On a hot and dusty day, Sometime in the month of May, I was fishing for a largemouth bass. Suddenly I heard a sound, and as I turned around, I smelled the smell of burning gas. The smoke began to billow high, ran as fast as my feet could fly. Wondered what it was that I would see. I ran and ran through the woods, past the bush, fast as I could, and as I peeked around the old oak tree, I saw fire climbing higher like a fire. The heat was burning me. I saw fire climbing higher like a choir singing wild and free. Fire, 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 fire. I yelled for dear old Paul, I yelled for Clarissa. I didn't know what else that I could do. The house was burning down, no one could be found, but right before me was a horseshoe. I yelled and screamed with pride, I yelled with all my might. Oh, paint, I'm coming for you. The horses were running wild, and though I was just a child, held on to that shoe like glue. I saw fire climbing higher like a briar. The heat was burning me. I saw fire climbing higher like a choir singing wild and free. The fire was so strong, it didn't take too long to burn our poor house to the ground. I yelled for dear old Paul, I yelled for Clarissa, but none of them could be found. With a horseshoe in my hand, I walked throughout the land, looking for my sister and dear Paul. I look for my old paint, and every time I faint when I think about what I saw fire climbing higher like a fire. The heat was burning me. I saw fire climbing higher like a choir singing wild and free. Woo! I didn't know where to go. My pa was gone, my sister was gone, my horse was gone, my house was gone. The only thing I found in my pa was this cowboy hat, and I put it on. The only thing I found of old paint was that horseshoe, and I held on tight. But I didn't know where to go. So I just started walking, and I walked, and I walked, and I walked till I couldn't walk no more. And finally, I had to lay down and go to sleep. Well, after a while, I felt something wet on my face. And I felt it again, like somebody, and I smelled a breath like somebody who hadn't brushed their teeth for a week. When I opened my eyes, I don't know if you've ever been face to face with a wolf, but it was unnerving. And I tried to smile, and the wolf smiled back. And it must have been at night, because it was dark and cold. And I looked around, and I noticed I was in a cave. And that's when I noticed 5 wolf cubs, and they were all smiling at me. And I realized they weren't trying to hurt me. They'd saved me. They'd saved my life. And now I was officially a wolf. Oh! Now, Mother Wolf, that's what I called her from then on, Mother Wolf. She taught us how to eat mice and toads. It wasn't easy eating mice and toads, but after a while, I'd got just as good as my brother wolves. That's what I called them from then on, my brother wolves. And we used to play together and growl. Arr, arr, arr. But after a while, their claws and their teeth started getting a little too long and sharp. Got a little dangerous playing with those wolf cubs. But we always had a good time. And every night, Mother Wolf would take us out of the cave and we'd look up at the planets and the stars. She'd tell stories and sing songs. I loved Mother Wolf. But I kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And before long, I was getting too big for the cave. And Mother Wolf one day started nudging me out of the cave with her long nose. And I said, Mother Wolf, I thought I was part of your family. She said, oh, you'll always be a part of our family, but now it's time for you to go. Well, I was sad. I didn't want to leave, but Mother Wolf had taught me well, and I was catching my own mice and toads. I found a cave to live in. I made new friends, and every now and then, especially on a full moon, I'd hear them off in the distance. Oh, and I'd howl back. Oh, goodbye, Mother Wolf. Goodbye, Brother Wolves. I'll see you again. Well, I never knew what happened to my pa and my sister, but one day something did happen. I was chasing a squirrel up a tree when all of a sudden I heard a sound like I'd heard before. It was Old Paint. Old Paint, Old Paint, I love you, Old Paint. I shouted for all the world to hear. Old Paint, I love you, Old Paint. And I shouted in your other ear. So me and Old Paint were best of friends all over again. And went on many adventures together over mountains and prairies and rivers and streams. I loved Old Paint. Well, after a few years, Old Paint, well, she got old. And one day, she died. Well, I felt so sad. I tried to sing her song, but I couldn't sing it. And just when I was feeling the saddest, I heard another sound. I looked down, it was a little puppy sitting on a pile of trash. Is that where we're supposed to put our trash, on the ground? And then this poor little puppy had hurt his paw because he stepped on some broken glass. Is that where you're supposed to put your broken glass, on the ground? So I picked up the puppy and I said, little puppy, you got a name? I said, little puppy, do you got somebody to take care of you? Little puppy, you all right? I said, little puppy, would you like to be my faithful companion? Now stop that. Stop licking me. All right. If you're going to be my faithful companion, I might have to give you a name. Can't call you Cowboy Chris. That's my name. Can't call you Cowgirl Clarissa. That's my sister's name. You know what? Mother Wolf used to come up with good names. She'd take us outside the cave and look up at the planets and the stars. Star. I'm gonna call you Star Buckaroo. Star Buckaroo. That's what I call you. You shine just like a star, Star Buckaroo. Star Buckaroo. I'll be true to you. And you'll be true to me. Star Buckaroo. Star Buckaroo. I'll take care of you. Now, Star Buckaroo and I became best of friends, and we went on many adventures over mountains and prairies and rivers and streams. Well, one night, after a few years, I had a dream. And in my dream, Mother Wolf came back to me. Cowboy Chris, I got good news for you. What? Your pa and your sister, they're still alive. They are? Where are they? Well, they're far from here, but I can show you how to get there. Thank you, Mother Wolf. I love you. I love you too. Next morning I woke up, I grabbed Starbuckaroo and I said, guess what, Starbuckaroo? My Mother Wolf came to me in a dream last night and she told me that my pa and my sister are still alive and she's gonna show us how to get there. Well, the next day we left and went all the way out to Big Bend National Park in West Texas. And the day after that, went all the way to Santa Fe, New Mexico. And the day after that, to Denver, Colorado. Well, that night in Denver, I had another dream. And Mother Wolf said that I was getting very close. Well, the next day, we went to Wyoming. And when we got in Wyoming, I decided I was a little hungry and I wanted to get a little breakfast. So I stopped at a restaurant and we got some scrambled eggs and sausage and biscuits and coffee. Well, at the end of breakfast, I looked up and there was a cook in the kitchen. He kind of looked familiar to me. And then I looked over at that woman at the cash register. She looked familiar too. And then by the time I looked back at that cook, he was running around and grabbed me and said, Cowboy Chris, it's your pa. And that woman come running over and grabbed me and said, Cowboy Chris, it's your sister. And I took him outside and I picked up Starbuckaroo. I said, Starbuckaroo, this is my pa and my sister. We're home. And that is the story of Cowboy Chris. Hope you liked it. Yee-haw! Oh, paint, I love